The WWE Universe just got hit with a bombshell that nobody saw coming, and trust me when I say this is about to change everything you thought you knew about one of the most shocking attacks in recent wrestling history. Nick Aldis just pulled back the curtain on a secret so explosive it has fans questioning every single thing they believed about Bianca Belair and what really went down with Jade Cargill. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, do it right now because you're not going to want to miss a single detail of what I'm about to reveal to you today. Let me take you back to that fateful night when Jade Cargill was found brutally attacked backstage at a WWE event. The image of her lying there injured sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. Fans immediately started speculating about who could have done such a thing to one of the most dominant forces in women's wrestling. Theories were flying left and right with everyone pointing fingers at different suspects. Some people thought it was a jealous competitor. Others believed it was someone from her past trying to settle an old score. But nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, expected that the truth would lead directly to Bianca Belair's doorstep. The EST of WWE has built her entire career on being the good guy, the role model, the woman who fights with honor and integrity. She's been the face of the women's division for years now, inspiring millions of fans around the world with her incredible strength, her athletic ability, and her seemingly unshakable moral compass. Parents point to her as an example for their kids. Little girls dress up as her for Halloween. She's been untouchable in terms of her public image. But what Nick Aldis just revealed threatens to tear down everything she's worked so hard to build. According to sources close to the SmackDown General Manager, Nick Aldis has been conducting his own private investigation into the Jade Cargill attack ever since it happened. He wasn't satisfied with the official story. Something about the whole situation didn't sit right with him, so he started digging deeper, asking questions that nobody else was brave enough to ask. He reviewed security footage that hadn't been made public. He interviewed witnesses who were in the area that night. He pieced together a timeline of events that painted a very different picture from what we were all led to believe. And what he discovered was so disturbing that he knew he couldn't keep it to himself any longer. The evidence that Aldis uncovered allegedly shows that Bianca Belair had means, motive, and opportunity to carry out the attack on Jade Cargill. Let's start with the motive because this is where things get really interesting. On the surface, Bianca and Jade appeared to be allies. They teamed together. They supported each other publicly. They were supposed to be friends. But behind the scenes, according to what Aldis has revealed, there was a growing tension that nobody knew about. Jade Cargill had been receiving opportunities that Bianca felt should have gone to her. Creative decisions were being made that favored Jade over Bianca. Management was starting to view Jade as the future of the division while Bianca was beginning to feel like yesterday's news. Now you might be thinking that's just normal competition in wrestling, right? Everyone wants to be on top. Everyone wants the spotlight. But here's where it gets darker. Bianca allegedly started to see Jade not just as competition but as a direct threat to her legacy. She had worked too hard, fought too long, sacrificed too much to let someone waltz in and take everything from her. The resentment started to build. The jealousy started to consume her. And according to Aldis's investigation, the toxic combination of emotions led her down a path she never should have gone down. The means part of the equation is equally damning. Bianca Belair is one of the strongest women in WWE history. She's a former track star with legitimate athletic credentials. She could absolutely overpower someone if she wanted to, even someone as physically impressive as Jade Cargill. The attack on Jade wasn't some elaborate setup with weapons and planning. It was brutal and direct. Someone with serious strength did that damage. And when you look at the roster of women who could physically accomplish something like that, the list gets pretty short. Bianca is right there at the top of it. Then there's the opportunity angle, and this is where Aldis's investigation really started to crack the case wide open. On the night of the attack, Bianca's whereabouts during the crucial time window were never properly accounted for. She claimed she was in her locker room preparing for a segment that was scheduled later in the night. But here's the problem. Multiple witnesses have now come forward saying they didn't see her where she claimed to be. Security footage from the hallway leading to her locker room shows her leaving at a time that would have put her in the exact area where Jade was attacked right around when the attack occurred. When confronted with this timeline, Bianca allegedly couldn't provide a solid alibi. She got defensive. She tried to redirect attention to other suspects. She even suggested that the investigation was a witch hunt designed to tear her down. But the more questions Aldis asked, the more holes appeared in her story. Things weren't adding up. The woman who had always been so composed, so confident, suddenly seemed rattled and evasive. It was behavior that raised serious red flags. But wait, because it gets even more complicated. There's another layer to this story that makes everything even more twisted. According to insiders, Bianca didn't act completely alone. She allegedly had help from someone on the inside, someone who helped her cover her tracks and create a false trail that would lead investigators away from her. The identity of this accomplice is still being kept under wraps, but sources suggest it's someone who had their own reasons for wanting Jade out of the picture. This person helped Bianca establish her fake alibi. They manipulated security footage, or at least the logs that indicated when certain footage was recorded. They planted evidence that pointed to other suspects. The revelation of an accomplice opens up a whole new can of worms. Who else in the WWE locker room harbored enough animosity toward Jade Cargill to participate in something this heinous? Was it another wrestler who felt threatened by Jade's rapid rise? Was it someone from management who saw her as difficult to work with? Was it a member of the production crew who had access to all the technical systems needed to cover up the crime? The speculation is running wild, and until Aldis reveals more details, everyone in the WWE is potentially under suspicion. What makes this entire situation even more shocking is how Bianca managed to maintain her innocent facade throughout the entire ordeal. She visited Jade in the hospital. She posted heartfelt messages on social media expressing her concern and solidarity. She cut promos on television vowing to find whoever was responsible and make them pay. It was all an act. Every tear, every word of encouragement, every promise to get justice was coming from the person who allegedly orchestrated the whole thing. That level of deception, that level of cold calculation is honestly terrifying when you really think about it. The WWE locker room is reportedly in complete chaos right now. Wrestlers who considered Bianca a friend feel betrayed. People are questioning whether they ever really knew her at all. Trust has been shattered. The women's division is fractured. Some wrestlers are defending Bianca, saying there's no way she could have done this. Others are saying they always sensed something off about her, that behind the bright smile and positive attitude there was something darker lurking. The company itself is in damage control mode, trying to figure out how to handle a situation where one of their top stars and biggest role models might be guilty of such a vicious crime. From a legal standpoint, things could get extremely serious for Bianca if these allegations are proven true. This wasn't just a wrestling angle or a staged attack that got out of hand. Jade Cargill suffered real injuries. She was sidelined from action for an extended period. If prosecutors decide to get involved, Bianca could be facing actual criminal charges. We're talking about assault, possibly even with aggravating circumstances given the premeditated nature of the attack and the use of an accomplice. Her career could be over. Her reputation could be destroyed permanently. Everything she's built could come crashing down. The timing of Aldis's revelation is also interesting. Why now? Why did he wait to come forward with this information? Some people are suggesting that he wanted to make absolutely sure he had airtight evidence before making such a serious accusation. Others think there might be political motivations at play. Could this be part of some larger power struggle within WWE management? Is Aldis making a play to show his authority and prove that nobody is above accountability, not even the company's top stars? There are layers to this story that we probably don't even know about yet. Social media has absolutely exploded since this news broke. Hashtags related to Bianca Belair are trending worldwide. Fans are divided into camps. Some refuse to believe that their hero could do something like this. They're calling it a setup, a conspiracy to destroy a successful black woman in wrestling. Others are saying they always knew something was off and this just confirms their suspicions. The debate is getting heated and ugly. People are attacking each other online over their opinions on this situation. It's brought out the worst in some corners of the fandom. From Jade Cargill's perspective, this revelation must be incredibly difficult to process. She was brutally attacked by someone she thought was her friend. She trusted Bianca. They worked together. They shared the ring. And now to find out that Bianca might have been the one who put her in the hospital, that's a betrayal that cuts deeper than any physical injury. Jade has remained relatively quiet since the news broke, but you can bet she's going to have something to say about this soon. Her response could be explosive. The question everyone is asking now is what happens next. Will WWE suspend Bianca Belair pending a full investigation? Will they strip her of any titles or accolades she currently holds? Will they write her off television while this all gets sorted out? The company is in an impossible position. If they move too quickly without definitive proof, they could face legal action from Bianca. But if they do nothing and just let her continue performing like nothing happened, they risk a massive backlash from fans and sponsors who expect accountability. It's a no-win situation. There's also the matter of how this affects ongoing storylines and upcoming events. Bianca was likely scheduled for major matches at premium live events. She probably had feuds and angles mapped out for months to come. All of that is now in jeopardy. Creative teams are probably scrambling to come up with contingency plans. Other wrestlers who were supposed to work with her are left in limbo, not knowing if those plans will still happen. The ripple effects of this scandal are touching every corner of the WWE Universe. For Bianca herself, the personal toll must be enormous. Even if she maintains her innocence, even if she ultimately is cleared of wrongdoing, the damage to her reputation might be irreversible. Once these kinds of allegations are out there, they stick. People will always wonder. They'll always question. Every time she cuts a babyface promo about honor and integrity, there will be fans who can't help but think about this scandal. That's the tragic reality of situations like this. The accusation alone can be enough to destroy someone, regardless of whether it's ultimately proven true. The investigation is apparently still ongoing. Aldis has turned over his findings to WWE officials, and there are rumors that law enforcement might get involved if they haven't already. More witnesses are being interviewed. More evidence is being gathered. This story is far from over. In fact, we're probably only seeing the tip of the iceberg right now. As more details emerge, as more people come forward with their accounts, this could get even bigger and even more shocking than it already is. What's particularly disturbing is thinking about all the young fans who looked up to Bianca Belair as a hero. Kids who wanted to be just like her, who believed in the values she claimed to represent. If these allegations turn out to be true, those kids are going to be heartbroken. Parents are going to have difficult conversations about how sometimes the people we admire disappoint us in the worst ways. It's a harsh lesson about the difference between the characters we see on television and the real people behind those characters. The wrestling industry as a whole is watching this situation very closely. What happens here could set precedents for how companies handle similar situations in the future. It's a test of WWE's integrity and their commitment to doing the right thing, even when it's difficult, even when it costs them financially or hurts their programming. The world is watching to see if justice will actually be served, or if star power and marketability will win out over accountability. As we wait for more information to come out as this investigation continues to unfold, one thing is crystal clear. The WWE Universe will never look at Bianca Belair the same way again. Whether she's ultimately found guilty or innocent, the shadow of suspicion will follow her for the rest of her career. The fairytale story of the EST of WWE has taken a dark and twisted turn that nobody could have predicted. And Nick Aldis, by choosing to reveal this dark secret, has potentially changed the course of wrestling history. This is exactly the kind of story that reminds us why we need to stay subscribed and keep coming back for updates, because things are developing rapidly and you don't want to miss a single twist in what might be the biggest scandal in WWE history. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay on top of every new development in this explosive situation, because trust me, there's a lot more to come.